Friends, colleagues, co-workers, countrymen, welcome to Friends from Work. My girl Tori Shulman is not only ready, she's got her face right in the camera. The way grandparents used to FaceTime in 2011. But you got your mic with you, so I'm happy.
Yes. Can everyone hear and see us? And I got my wiener. I hope you like my wiener.
I was going to say, I love the shirt.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate that.
Yeah. It's very like, maybe like a mid 1950s chic.
Yes.
You need a hoop skirt.
A little hoop skirt, little poodle.
Yeah.
God, whatever.
There's nothing like when you watch somebody's face process a text message and then try and come back to the conversation. They're like, well, we'll see. So do you want to go to the 7:15 showing?
That's what just happened.
Yes. Tori, what is going on? It is Friday, Junior. I am a couple hours away from hopping on a red eye, headed to Fort Lauderdale, Miami, to the Dania Beach Improv. I'll be there with my homeboy, Hannibal Burris. If you guys are in the Soul Flow area, shout out 786, shout out 305, shout out 954. Come through and say what's up.
Video is tiny. I'm going to the horizontal. Oh, thank you for telling us.
Our video. Now you're giving us video envy.
Yeah, she's
the video is tiny.
Our video is tiny, she said.
Really?
Yeah.
This is as big as we can get right here. This is what we're always on.
This is why we need Michael Dean all the time, always.
Do you see what happens when Michael Dean isn't here? Well, yesterday, Tori, I was like, I'll just do the show myself and put all of the stuff that I was going to need for the show. I had charts. I had pictures, and I started the show, and I was in an empty room. It was just like a room in a new build house in a subdivision that's got no one's ever lived in there. I was like, "What's up, y'all? What's up, Carol? How are you?"
Yeah. The vertical is small. Horizontal looks fine. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. The vertical looks tiny, but the horizontal looks fine.
This is the same.
Is Sar at home?
I think she's got the nerve to be working. No, she's at work right now.
Sar.
I know, that's pretty selfish. That's pretty awful of her. But yes. So Tori, what do you got going this week? I want to get this out of the way. We haven't done a Vibey Sports in a while, so let's do this. We're gonna kick things off the only way that we know how, and let's do a quick. We're gonna do a little throwback Vibey Sports. So let's do it, girl. Now, Tori,
Sar wrote us and said it's because you're not full screen.
I thought we are in full screen. See, that's just me. That's us. That's smaller, worse us. What is that? I like that. And then this is us. And then this is as big as it is.
That's weird. Well, we'll figure that out. We're so sorry.
Something no man ever wants to say. This is all God gave me.
Oh,
now get in my Corvette.
Oh, you are full screen, but chat is half the page. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know. I don't know.
You're about to hear two hosts give up. I am trying everything. I think this is like as big as we're gonna get.
Okay, that's good. Just keep it there. We got to work on the chat not being over my beautiful face because I paid for the Botox. You know what I mean? Like, sure, yeah. Anyway,
Tori, we're doing Vibey Sports, and that's a big deal. Not because it's football. That's gone for a few months. But it's time for a little ice hockey, little heated rivalry minus the hotness. We have the United States taking on Canada for the gold. Is it Canada? Let me make sure.
Wait, didn't we just win?
No, the women lost.
No, U.S. just won. The women
came back and won?
Yeah.
I don't think that's right.
Oh my God, I think you're totally wrong. And the U.S. beat Canada for the women's ice hockey gold.
That's what I effing said. Look at it. They were losing. I was like, they lost. I thought they lost.
They totally won.
All right. Well, F it then. Let's get to the effing story about our country falling apart. So now I'm pissed off at myself. Let's do it. Tori, in what looks like maybe a win for the world, the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, went down on February 19th, 2026, marking an unprecedented moment for the monarchy. Looks like one of their peoples is going to go to the slammer. He is the first senior royal to be arrested since King Charles I nearly 400 years ago, and that should be something to be proud of. What do you think about this? Will this kind of trickle across the pond to us to be like, hey, maybe we should maybe not even arrest people, investigate, do something?
Well, hold your horses, because not only did you not know that the women won gold, but you didn't know that the former Prince Andrew has been released already.
I know that he's out, but of course, rich people get out. They don't stay there to their court date.
That's true. So huge news. And we are hearing that Charles did not know his brother, neither did Prince William or Princess Kate at all about the arrests. But I'm so proud of countries that are actually taking action, including so far Norway, which has arrested their prime minister, who has stepped down because he's in the Epstein files. Now we're seeing princes fall. I posted on my Instagram, Al, the famous words of Pam Bondi that said, if we prosecute everyone in the Epstein files, the whole thing will collapse. The entire thing will collapse. And I was like, burn it down, baby, burn it down. So we're seeing, people are like, princes are going to fall and royalty is going to go. And, prime ministers and presidents, they're going to take the hit. And they did. So it's a huge win for the survivors. The family of Virginia Giuffre say they're relieved, very relieved that he has been held accountable. They feel like justice is suddenly started to come finally for their family. And everybody asked Trump what he thinks. And he said, I've been exonerated, but it's very sad. It's very, very, very sad to see this. Clintons will be testifying on the 26th. And apparently the word is still that he is going to let everything out. So yeah, we're seeing royalty topple, monarchs topple, presidents topple, prime ministers topple, and our country has yet to investigate, arrest, or even speak to co-conspirators, including Les Wexner, who has admitted not anybody from the Justice Department has even given him a call.
Which is amazing. You know what, though, Tori? My issue with the idea of Bill Clinton testifying in a deposition is just like it's going to be the same old boring kind of, milk toast, white bread deposition, just that sterile camera. In Americans, I think the reason that this isn't a bigger story is like we need theatrics.
I think it's going to be pretty theatrical.
But I say, hear me out. Here's my plan. We set it at a Thanksgiving. Clinton is 4 doubles deep, and he is an uncle that might not see the next one, and he's just, that ain't your daddy. Let me tell you, your aunt, the church-going woman, I knew when she was 26, all right? Not such the angel, all right? I didn't even know she had a first name. I could tell you 2 nicknames. Like, I want to see that level of just letting it all out, because right now, Tori, America is looking pretty bad on the world stage. Now, let me quickly run through the just the exact details. Now people will say whether this leads to an actual any kind of actual penalty. We'll see. But this is the allegations in newly released Epstein files suggest Andrew shared sensitive government briefings with Epstein. In one 2010 email, they're emailing.
They're intelligence agents.
Espionage.
I know they're I know. Aren't spies, like foreign assets, supposed to be like better at this? My God.
Remember, like when you would see like a spy movie and they would get caught and they would take like a cyanide pill or something. You'll never take me alive, briefcase, handcuffed to the wrist. And these dudes are just writing down, hey, guess what? I would get all of our troops out of Turkey if I were you. Like, they're just like writing shit down. Like, you cannot. This, like, no, go ahead.
We had like codes, like they had to do like, they had to there wasn't even coded language. It was like, let's take them here. Let's do this then. I do want to let you know that someone says, Lucy says, I still don't believe he'll say anything really bad. Fingers crossed he does about Bill Clinton. Reports are, guys, and these are from sources that I trust, he's going to, as Shelley said, let it rip. So he has been quiet. And if you know anything about the Clintons, he doesn't like to remain quiet. He likes to talk, and talk he will. He only agreed to do this if the cameras were on. And I think he knows he has nothing left to lose, and he's going to let it all out there. Now, there's also reports, Al, that Iran has video of Trump allegedly with minors that they will release to the world if he gets involved in the Iranian situation, which he's threatening to do. So I'm not laughing because this is like, I'm just saying, like,
no, you have to it has to come out in some way. It's so shocking.
Yeah,
and definitely true. I mean, allegedly true, because the way that Trump has moved with different world leaders just always seems so counterintuitive to what we've always seen with our allies and our perceived enemies and NATO. And Trump has almost been the polar opposite to all of it. And I'm telling you, colleagues, my spider senses were up after that last Putin meeting when he came and the U.S. troops were on their hands and knees laying out a red carpet. I was like, is a pimp from Detroit about to come through? What is this? Who is coming? You're talking about the war criminal that kills journalists? That's what we're doing all this for?
Poisoned dart frog poison that we learned from that he killed Alex Navalny as well. So these, again, are all alleged, but let me just tell you one sentence. If any of this were untrue and these rumors were floating on about Trump and him being involved, he would have sued. He would have sued for defamation. And the only reason to get out of defamation and prove it is through the truth. So that would cause a lot of discovery to come out and a lot of depositions to come out and have to be subpoenaed. But there's a reason that the Mr. Legislation, Mr. Sewer, is not suing on this particular case. That says an enormous amount that you should keep in mind. But astounding that the DOJ has not put out any investigations. Marcy, thank you for the $10. I do want to let you all know something else, Al. This just broke at the Department of Justice. I am not kidding you guys. They have unfurled, and I'm not kidding you, a giant poster of Donald Trump's face on the side of the Department of Justice, which is very hashtag North Korean vibes. It is an enormous photograph of him in
Tori, you keep talking. Insane. I'm going to try and get that picture up for
yes, it is. It's on my Instagram. If you guys want to go, Al's going to look for it. But something you would never the founders of this country would never want. And he's also asking for Dulles, which is my airport. Mine's actually Reagan, but he wants Dulles Airport. He, ready for this? Renamed the Trump Airport, and he wants Penn Station to also be named for him as well. It doesn't trigger me as the true one is asking. It just reads very dictatory, authoritarian.
Tori, what is the legality of a president just saying, what if the next president is like, okay, I want to name this after me, and I want to name that? Like, what can you? Is this something you can just do?
No. On a federal building, if you want to rename it, it has to be gone through a congressional act. Congress has to be involved, which is why they are already suing for the Donald Trump John F. Kennedy Memorial. He put his name up there immediately, and someone sued the next day. So he will be going to court over that because it takes a congressional act to change the name on a federal building. So it's just ego. It's just a never-ending ego. Here is the poster that has unfolded at the Department of Justice. It feels like Hunger Games. You know what I mean?
It really does. It's just, it's very like, why of all the things that you probably wouldn't want to call attention to now, it's your involvement with the Department of Justice that seems to have failed on every level to even interview. If, like I always said, if this happened on Law and Order, if there was somebody that said, I was assaulted by my teacher, and then it's the ba-bum, and then it's like the lawyer's going, we need to get this wrestling teacher in for an interview, and they were like, but we're going to do that after lunch and probably Monday because it's a long weekend. It's King Day. Like the idea that they're not even embarrassed about this is, I think, what's so startling. And I don't know if tone deaf is the correct word, but it's we're living in such a weird time now, Tori.
Yeah, it's a great point that you make, that he like labeled the Department of Justice for him. That, and right now,
which is accurate. Let's give them that.
Yeah, this is true, but it's like while being embroiled in a Department of Justice scandal upon the biggest scandal of all time in history of America. We're talking about alleged rapes of children, alleged torture of children, alleged fraudulent money laundering, now foreign assets. So it couldn't have been a worse time to put your face on the Department of Justice. It does look like the Wizard of Oz, you guys. It definitely looks wizardry. But still no information is being let out in America, but we are continuing to see France take action, and Norway. 13 other countries have started to take action. The pilot has been arrested. They're looking into who is British. He was on a flight and taken out of the cockpit and arrested that flew Epstein all around. Nancy Mace yesterday. I don't know if you know her. She is a Republican from South Carolina. I thought was going to be
I'm aware of Nancy Mace.
Yeah, her vice president.
To get it in. She parties.
Well, she does party. She unfortunately was the victim or survivor of a sexual assault herself, and has seemingly switched sides in terms of gone towards the Democrats. She has now said that there were pinhole cameras. Remember, Congress are allowed to see things we aren't allowed to see. And she said there are pinhole cameras everywhere. Like you said, Al, we don't have the audio for that. We would like to see the audio. There was video on the plane. They are not allowed to see that video, which she wants right now. So it's become quite apparent that 77% of Americans, not just Democrats, all Americans, want the full Epstein files released. And the stuff we have seen so far is the G-rated stuff, is what we're hearing from people that have been able to view.
That is an insane statement you just made. That is the craziest thing you've ever said, and I know it's 100% true.
Yeah.
Which should, you know, I'll say this, Tori, and you know what really backs up what you just said to me is we were on the air for GBL at the beginning of the Marjorie Taylor Greenes and the Lauren Boeberts, and they were, for lack of a better word or better phrase, they were acting out. Remember, Boebert she had the incident at Beetlejuice, but she was also like kind of like this hot grandma that like vaped and was like, I don't care. She had a restaurant called Shooters where they could have active firearms on their hips when they brought you pork sliders that almost killed dozens of people. These are our leaders. You cannot serve bad pork. You will erase people. In graduate school, there's a specific bacteria in pork that's worse than like having bad chicken, bad coleslaw. Like pork is the one meat that can actually kill you. Anyway, we saw the theatrics from both of these women. And there was a kind of like an independent journalist that didn't have gotcha questions. He was waiting outside of the DOJ when they came out from viewing those videos.
Yes.
And Tori is the first time that veneer of BS that got them elected. And I'm the sassy girl. I don't care. I'm kind of hot. they
It
looked
was
like
gone.
people. It was gone,
It was gone.
and they were cursing.
They were
They
crying.
were like, these guys are effing sickos.
Yeah.
I think it was a come to Jesus moment for them in terms of what they had given up to get to where they were. Because if you think that these boys at the grand old party weren't allegedly probably doing a little bit of grab ass, a little bit of, hey, see me in my office if you want my endorsement, what do you think? They're going to her for advice? Anytime those, especially Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I mean, she's got some delts on her. I don't know if they'd want that smoke. I think she might, I don't know if any, look, Marjorie Taylor Greene looks like she got a name like one of the old Pittsburgh Steelers, you know? And so, like, I don't know if she was getting it as bad, but I'm sure Boebert definitely gave up a little bit of herself to be put higher on that pedestal and be put closer to power. And this is not me backing her up in any way, but power is enchanting. It is to be close to real power, not like my boy's dad's a lawyer and he got some money. To be close to power, like anything that goes on, give him this card. Anything that's a problem, tell him to call this number, and the cop goes, I'm sorry, Mrs. Shulman, please don't give him. That's power.
Totally.
That's power, and it's intoxicating to people.
Yeah.
And especially people that probably came up with not a whole lot. And so I think that they were willing to give up a large chunk of their soul to get close to that power. But whatever they saw, they were not the same person coming down those Department of Justice steps that they were going in.
You're absolutely right. And I want to say that the Trump administration called Lauren Boebert in to the Oval Office to get her to flip so that she would say that she won't release the rest of the Epstein files. And she walked out of there shooketh. And I believe did not go with the Trump administration on that. Democrats took a big win also in a lot of elections in Texas yesterday that were previously very red hot areas. And I do want to let you know that someone wrote, hold on. Can you please give voters information of where to get licenses, birth certificates, to match their names on their tax documents? This is, of course, the SAVE Act. I think you guys have heard of it. It passed in the House. It is probably not going to pass in the Senate. And if it does, Al, and Trump, if it does pass and Trump signs it, apparently, allegedly, the Democrats have enough votes from Republicans to override the veto, which is rarely ever done. It means any woman that changed her name would not be able to vote. It would take out about 25% of American citizens from voting. So I don't think
25%. I think you need to pause on that, Tori.
Yeah.
25%, which would be roughly about what, 70 million people?
Correct. And many people don't have a passport out. It requires you to have a passport, which costs about $165. So you're being prohibitive with cost, which is somewhat of a poll tax. And also you need your birth certificate, which many people don't have access to, who are rightfully American.
And not just a copy of it. You need your paper birth certificate. Correct. And Tori, I went deep down a rabbit hole with the SAVE Act.
Yes.
From what people are saying, they said that they have it has about a 5% chance of passing, but I don't like anything to have to do with this administration and shadiness. And also with the SAVE Act, what they're saying is, let's say you, Tori Shulman, go in with your paper birth certificate and you give it to the poll worker. But let's say, and we all know this is BS, but like, let's say it was, for whatever reason, not an accurate document. That poll worker is now subject to prosecution for accepting a fake document, even though they have no way of checking if your document from 1900 and whenever you were born, 58, is accurate.
Yeah.
And so you're also tightening the screws and making it so that people, would you want to risk that?
Yeah.
You're going to just tell me that anybody that gives me any kind of paper, if I validate it, I'm on the same hook they are, I'll just stay home.
Exactly. And that's what they're trying to do. So Warnock, Ralph Warnock, just went on the floor and said, let's just call it what it is. Trump's trying to mess with the 2026 midterm elections. Lindsey Graham has already said, we're going to lose the House. We're probably going to lose the Senate. So strong Republicans are saying the Democrats have this in the bag, and their only way now is to limit the amount of people that can get to the vote, have ICE at the polls. And again, all of this is illegal. And in the Constitution, Article 1, states are the ones in charge of voting, not the federal government. When he says he wants to nationalize the voting, that's an unconstitutional statement and would need to be an amendment to the Constitution at this point. Now, at this point, the Senate is set to filibuster, Al, if they try and pass the SAVE Act. And what someone put up, and I wrote on my Instagram, was they should filibuster with the Epstein files and read them publicly until they're on record. And I thought,
would be the most watched filibuster of all time.
Completely agree with you. There's about 3 million files that we still have yet to see that they're allowing Congress to see on only 4 computers. They're obviously now tracking their search histories because Pam Bondi had a copy of all their search histories. But if you start letting some of that out of the bag, they also have something called immunity, Al. When you are on the House and Senate floor, you are allowed to say who is redacted. And that's why you see Ro Khanna be listing this on the Senate and House floor, listing names. He gave us Les Wexner. He gave us the Sultan, because he cannot be held in contempt or anything for listing those names. They have special immunity within the chambers of Congress. So it's a crazy time, but it's a time for reckoning. And it's a time for the country to see where we're at. His approval rating is at 27%, the lowest in history. And just a majority of Americans, a large swath of Americans, want an alleged pedophile held responsible, or at least questioned. Even investigated.
I think that's fair.
In the beginning, just even questioned, which is not happening. So I think that'd be an amazing filibuster for the people to watch, and they have everyone's attention right now.
Right. I mean, and when you say at least questioned, I mean, I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but I went to college with somebody that was accused, and I believe convicted, but I'll just say accused at this time, of a very, very, very serious crime. And I got a phone call from the Southern District of New York.
SDNY, they take it seriously.
SDNY, I got a phone call on this here cell phone, didn't give it to them. And they asked me what I knew about this person, when was the last time I talked to them, and what kind of person were they when I knew them. And I am, in terms of the branches of this person's life, I am a little sapling on a branch way out there, and they questioned me.
That's right.
So the idea that they couldn't find a reason to question Les Wexner, who I've known about, I'm a comic, and especially before this show, I barely cared about this stuff, and I still knew who he was.
Yeah.
There have been documentaries. It has been well noted that he turned over all of his, basically the financial stewardship of what was formerly the Limited, which was Victoria's Secret. I mean, a ton of money. Like the SEC had no questions about that.
Nothing. Zero.
Think about the back and forth, Tori, we had about the conservatorship, the financial conservatorship of Britney Spears.
I know.
We talked about that for 3 years.
I know. And they're like, no, he's a co-conspirator in the biggest pedophile ring, allegedly, in history. But we're good not talking to him. I do want to respond to Jody. It's important that she says this. Jody Day says, if Trump is found guilty of crimes against children, would you guys also want to prosecute or investigate to see if others are found guilty? Or is this just a crusade against the current president? Fair question. And I want to be very clear. If Democrats like Bill Clinton are on there, take them down. If independents are on there, take him down. This is, to me, not a liberal, Democratic, Republican. This is a moral, humane versus pedophilia. It is a morality issue and not a partisan issue. Take them all down. And Bill Clinton, I think I don't know if he's going to fall on his sword, but he clearly has strong involvement in the Epstein files, and will be having to sacrifice himself. And I believe he will be doing so, but take him down. Take him down if that's what they do. I'm not trying to say if you're a Democrat, you get away with alleged pedophilia and this. No, take them all down. I'm a human. I have morals, and I want to protect our children. So that's it.
Right.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, Jody. I'm a he. I'm so sorry. Jody is a he. And I wanted to definitely respond. I think that's a good question. Yeah. Clean
I think
sweep.
that
Burn
is.
it all down. Yeah.
And Jody, for first of all, I appreciate like a question. And it's like a person. I'm assuming I know nothing about Jody. Let's just say Jody is a supporter of President Trump. Well within your rights. Think about the cultural figures that have been accused of pedophilia and how quickly they were excised. This is not a partisan issue.
Agreed.
Whether it was R. Kelly or the guy that made the what's that stadium anthem? Billy Glitter. What was his name? Who's the?
Oh, Gary Glitter. Gary Glitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. From London.
Anybody that's attached to what song do you make? Hey,
I don't know Gary Glitter enough.
Right.
So
but still, the people that
Bill Gates as well.
Gates, whatever. Like I think that that's a fundamental disconnect, and I'm glad we got a chance to discuss this. I think people that are very pro-Trump, the issue that they have when they try and look at people that are very skeptical of this presidency is we don't worship our candidates the way that a lot of people like. It wouldn't be weird to go to a Trump rally and see like somebody that's got an AI picture of a superimposed Trump, muscular with He-Man's body and an eagle on his shoulder. We don't feel that way about AOC. You'll never see a picture of her like on top of an eagle pointing towards Washington, D.C. Like, we don't care that much. I think that's why there's always this disconnect, is like they don't understand that like whoever is at fault, let's get him in jail and move forward. I have kids. I don't care about your politics. I'm going to get some water. Keep talking, Tori.
Al has tuberculosis, so he's going to quickly go to the sanatorium. I also wanted to ask if you guys happen to see, and by the way, Jody said also, he said something about, I believe a lot of Congress is corrupt. And I live in DC, grew up right in DC, and you couldn't be more correct in my opinion. And I think everyone in the Epstein files needs to be at least investigated. Just so you guys know, Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna, one's a Democrat, one's a Republican, got together and wrote something called the Epstein Transparency Act. Oh, thank you. $1.99. We'll take it, baby. So they passed this bill, and it's supposed to be the redaction and supposed to let us all see. And they have completely gone against that. And actually, instead of unredacting the perpetrators, they showed images of the victims and survivors, which was horrific to do to some of these children who had asked for privacy and not come out to family members and wanted their privacy kept, and their pictures were out there, their addresses. So all of that went against the Epstein Transparency Act, which had just been passed. And there is now, Mike Johnson is writing in and says, Trump called the police on him. There is famously, Trump has said he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago once he learned about the pedophilia, and that he had called or tried to turn him in. There is stuff in the Epstein files we haven't seen that negates that. Jamie Raskin has said that actually never happened, and that is a story that Trump has come up with. Again, if this were all false and it was defamation towards the president, you would have seen Trump sue. He sues over much smaller things. And if none of this was true, you would have seen some kind of legislation against this. And he has yet to say that he would ever sue, because the best defense, again, for defamation is the truth. So interesting. I do want to ask you guys if you saw the Kid Rock RFK Jr. workout. Al, I don't know if you saw it. It was very strange, and they got into a plunge pool with his
Tori,
jeans
you
on.
set it up. If you think that I already haven't gotten this and have it ready to upload.
Oh, good. Alir's just sent us $19.99. Thank you so much. That is helping us a tremendous amount. I might even buy curtains that could block. Al, that means a lot to us. We really appreciate that. and I do agree that Pam Bondi, in my opinion, will see jail time. I think she'll be impeached and convicted. I absolutely do. I think she and Kristi Noem will both be seen inside of a jail cell, especially after the midterms. So are you okay?
Think that she's perjured herself?
I think she's perjured herself. I think she's also gone against the Epstein Transparency Act. I think she will be held accountable for her actions once they have the votes. Apparently, there's also enough votes for an impeachment, at least, to come by March 31st of Trump and Vance. Now, remember, guys, once you get an impeachment in the House, you go to the Senate, and you need 2/3 of the Senate to convict. And a conviction means you're taken out of office, which has almost happened with Andrew Johnson, but has yet to happen to any sitting president as of yet. Nixon would have been, but he resigned beforehand. Tulsi Gabbard, someone said, and Tulsi
Tori,
Gabbard.
before we get to this video, I did want to get your thoughts as to what do you think is in Pam Bondi's mind, where if you think that she might see jail time, she's well aware of that. What would be her incentive to not come out and be like, hey, and try and get a plea deal or save herself? Why is she seemingly okay going down with the ship like this?
Well, she can get pardoned if she's held federally responsible by the one person that she needs to be on the good side of, which is Donald Trump. She has always been extremely loyal in a way that makes me think he has dirt on her. And I think that fear is coming out. People he stacked in his cabinet, Howard Lutnick, like you said, the Commerce Secretary, Marco Rubio, who is allegedly in the Epstein files, he put in his cabinet. He keeps them real close. Pam Bondi. So in my mind, he keeps people around him that he is dirt on in case they are disloyal. So I think that's what she's thinking about, and that she remains loyal to him. Marjorie Taylor Greene saw that right away, that the writing's on the wall. There's no need to do that because this is going to be a failed administration. Mac Harrison just sent us $15. Thank you so much, Mac.
We need to send him $15 for having a cool name like that.
Mac Harrison is an awesome name.
That seems like the star linebacker at your high school, and you're like, I had my first crush, Mac Harrison. I had such a crush
on Mac Harrison. I wrote my name, Victoria Harrison, over and over in my journal. But by the way, Celtic 1979 is right. They can only be pardoned if it's a federal crime. If the district, I actually don't think the district can, because it's not a state. I'm not sure about that. But if it's a state crime, Trump cannot pardon. So that's why you see Minnesota so desperately trying to get evidence for the Alex Preddy and Renee Good case, because if the FBI takes it and it makes a federal case against these ICE officers, Trump can pardon them just like he pardoned 1,500 January 6th rioters and insurrectionists. So you want it done by the state, and it's a good point. He cannot pardon in a state crime.
Right.
Yeah.
Tori, I just wanted to get your thoughts, because I played this yesterday for the colleagues, but I wanted to play this for you because I think something that you said earlier in the show is really resonating. And when you said his popularity is down to 27%, the MAGA kind of bro podcasters have begun to leave Trump in droves. And I don't know if you saw this from yesterday.
This Epstein file stuff. Whoa. Is it even real? Unfortunately, probably so, and that's why we continue to fight to get the rest of this stuff out. But it is worse than we were all expecting. But I'll tell you one thing that it has proved. Watching the administration dodge it and try to hurry it up and move along. I just saw today they don't think the American people should be talking about this anymore. Well, I got news for you. The American people are the ones that voted you in. We're the ones that voted you in, and we told you what we wanted before your ass got in there. And you're not doing it. None of these people that we elected. It's pathetic. And so what it shows is a two-tier justice system, just like we all suspected and we've been talking about for years. The two-tier justice system. Why would you not investigate every single son of a that went to that island? Doesn't mean they're all guilty. Doesn't mean that at all. But it at least calls for some type of investigation, not just sweeping the shit under the rug like they always do. And they always have done. They bat this shit around. They get people all fired up, and then there's no justice.
Wow. First off, I want to say thank you to Nancy Hunter for giving us $25. You guys, these mean so much to us. We just want to recognize and acknowledge. Thank you so much. Yeah, wow. That is I assume a former Trumper or a Republican or MAGA person, and has gone 360 on the presidency. And I've heard Joe Rogan switching it up as well.
Right. He's lightly switching it up. But I think, you know, the saddest thing about that when I was watching that is I'm sure there's a lot of things that me and that gentleman fundamentally disagree about. I'm sure. I don't know his whole catalog, so I'm not signing up. But the idea of a two-tier justice system and holding people accountable, again, are issues that I think we can all get on board with. And I think you're seeing with these numbers that you're throwing out, like 71% of the U.S. population is like WTF, bro. And speaking of WTF, Tori, I never lied to the women in my life that I love. So here you go.
Oh my God.
What do you want from me? First of all, I like that he comes in and he goes, "Where's the kid? Kid Rock is 58 years old." Okay. That's first things first. Second of all, Tori, with me, he worked out in jeans. Do you understand the swamp crotch sitch that is going on when you work out in jeans and then get into a cold plunge? That is so gross.
You're so right. The denim swamp crotch is terrible. They drank whole milk while sitting together in a hot tub, which is like the most like weirdly uncomfortable situation ever. If anyone on the chat and the colleagues has seen Arrested Development, I'm a huge fan. There's a character played by David Cross named Tobias Funke, and he is a never nude, and he can never be nude. And everyone's calling, he wears little tiny denim shorts under everything. And everyone's calling RFK a never nude because he got in with jeans on.
Do you know what that made me think about weirdly, Tori? Is the war, the successful war on DEI and how it was used to really kind of weaponize the idea of having diverse voices in the room.
Yeah, to say this video
is why you need DEI. Because if you had one normal person, black man like me from Cleveland, white woman from DC, or any point in between,
like
we'd be in the back of the meeting like, hey, and they'd be like, well, this guy, let's just give it. That's how you save yourself from embarrassment, is when somebody that you respect goes, change your shirt because it's so wrinkled, I want to fight you right now.
Totally.
That's
what she said to me on DBL. You'll be like, absolutely not. That's 100% no.
Yes.
I'm like, thank you for
saying. Your loved ones will tell you. Listen to them. Now, Tori, I wanted to get to the story because it did have to do because we were talking earlier about Marjorie Taylor Greene. So let's do this. All right. Trump is in Georgia today trying to prove he's still the kingmaker. That's right. Have you been following this, the election battle to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene, who he calls Marjorie Traitor Greene? Yes. And it says the story is less red district politics and more who controls MAGA. So, I mean, I think this is a big referendum on like, how much does your thumbs up mean now? Okay, so the special election is Trump is putting all of his weight and his name behind Clay Fuller, calling him an America First patriot, and gave him his complete and total endorsement, which I didn't know that there were different kinds of endorsements. It's like I gave my complete, I didn't give him my total endorsement. I gave him my complete endorsement. In the March 10th special election, that, if he was to lose, which would show that Trumpism ain't Trumpism no more, and everything has a rise, a peak, and then a fall. And Tori, my question to you is, if Clay Fuller should lose, which MAGA-backed candidates have been losing in these special elections, is that a red siren for Trumpism overall?
Yeah, this is the litmus test, Al. This is the one it all comes down to. I will never say that I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is a good person, even though she switched sides, apparently, ever since she laughed and screamed at Parkland survivors and done horrific things to people. I don't trust her, but she saw MAGA breaking and saw the cracks, okay? And she saw that it would fall. And she called it out first, was one of the first. And this will be the test, because she famously said, I think about 2 weeks ago, MAGA is it's a lie. And so this is like,
I thought that was shocking, and I was surprised they didn't get more coverage.
Agreed. So this is it. This is, have they peaked, and are the cracks big enough that the foundation falls? Trump cares about this so much. He's going to a small district in Georgia to take care of this and back personally this nominee. But I, in my mind, from seeing what I've seen in terms of special elections, from seeing Texas yesterday, from seeing Virginia go blue, it's not looking good for Donald Trump. And it would be an enormous statement and sort of a stamp on how far he's fallen. And I think he knows he's in trouble. When Trump's in trouble, also, he likes to do things that promote him. So unfurling that poster is like, you can see he's nervous. Do you see what I mean? Like,
yes,
he lashes out and wants to be even more narcissistic and egotistical in ways that are just like beyond crazy to people when he's cornered. He feels cornered right now. This is probably the lowest his presidential administration has had in 2 years. I'm sorry, in 2 different terms. This is the lowest he's ever been. And there are real calls for a 25th Amendment clause or an impeachment at this point, and he's hearing them loud and clear. So I just want to let everyone know that I also am frustrated with Congress. A lot of you guys are like, what about the Congress and Biden before? Like, we all have been annoyed at politicians forever. I grew up in DC. Like, I get it. It's gridlock. It's red tape. I get it. But there's like a whole other level with alleged pedophilia, raping of children, torturing of children, that like, I'm not sure you can say that that's a line that I am allowed to cross, that I'm okay with the president being part of that. So to me, I get the anger at Congress and politicians in general. This is a whole other level that America's just like never seen before. So I just wanted to make that clear, that I also am frustrated with the political state of a lot of people. But this is criminal in such a way against children, not young women. Again, I want to repeat that. When you hear someone say these younger women, no, there's no such thing as younger women. These were children, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds. And so that's why I just wanted to point that out.
I'm glad you did. And Tori, I will back up and reiterate what you just said in terms of everybody's being frustrated with Congress. I guess my question to you would be, who in Congress? Because they've been MIA. We have a warplane strategically encircling Iran. I thought Congress had to have a say in that.
They do.
I haven't heard a word.
Yeah,
I don't even know who my congressman is. I don't know who these people are. I know influencers on Instagram. I know some professional wrestlers, even though I don't watch that. I even know that the Italian curler chick has a lot of my friends in a tizzy. I know a lot of people, but I don't know who my freaking congressperson is.
That's on you, though.
No. Who is it?
Well, what I do think is important, if you're tuning in to the algorithm of Congress, you're starting to see real standouts occur that are taking down, especially on the Judicial Committee. And you're starting to see bipartisanship, which is crazy after such a prolonged polarization between the two. Because even people like Thomas Till and Massey can't take looking at their daughters' faces and say, I didn't do anything to stop this. And so again, it's humanity and morals versus evil, and it's not partisan. So you're just starting to see that again. I do think Iran is a distraction. I do think anything loud and flashy right now is just going to be a distraction. And
do you think the idea that they might have a picture or a video is going to slow up our incursion into Iran?
When I saw that, again, all alleged, we don't know this, but you got to start thinking twice. And at some point, hackers like Anonymous, that hacker group, they're trying to get in there and release this to the general public. And the power walls, the firewalls, they can only last like so long before people let this out to the American people and public. And there's so much video, so many photographs. He had cameras everywhere in every single room. So it's not like there's going to be devoid of things. And famously, I don't know if you guys know this, but Trump has always said wherever he goes, he feels like he might be secretly taped. And that's why he said the golden showers video never happened, because he would never do that. It's interesting that he has that paranoia. And I wonder if that comes from knowing Epstein had pinhole cameras everywhere. But yeah, when you have video evidence, I don't know what you do with that. I don't know how you get out of that. I don't know what your defense to that is. Yeah, I think
you just got to go down with the AI route. That's all you got left.
Manipulated. Right.
Yeah. This is quite the conundrum. Now, Tori, I wanted to get to this before we close up today. First of all, let's remind everybody this story is brought to us by Oh, that's right, Tori. Our homies, our friends, Vlad and those boys over at Spider have been taking care of us since day one. Tori, do me a favor, read that phone number for us.
720-545-3187. Mac Harrison.
Mac Harrison. I love it. Now, Tori, I wanted to get your thoughts. Have you seen the story about Mark Zuckerberg having to testify? Let me set the story up, and then I want to get your thoughts. Zuckerberg is on trial, and he's being questioned. Are the apps built to hook our kids? Of course they are. Mark Zuckerberg got grilled in a landmark case accusing major platforms accused of designing addictive products that harm young users. It's a jury trial. It's emotional. And basically the question every parent is screaming into the void: are you building a community, or are you building dependency? So, Tori, do you think social media is addictive by design?
Yes.
Or do you think that it's just something that human beings experience, which is like trying to keep up with the Joneses?
No, every single thing on Instagram, including the likes, the ring around your name when you have a new story, it all is part of something called intermittent reinforcement, which is the strongest way people get addicted. Think of a slot machine. When you win, it's random, but it's a lot of noise. There's a lot of lights blinking. It's a lot of things. And people get really a dopamine hit. And then since you don't know when it's going to happen next, that intermittent reward is the most addictive you can get. So I just want to let you know that Jack Dorsey and people, the founder of Twitter, Zuckerberg's, Bill Gates, for instance, all those families that started in Silicon Valley do not allow their children to use the tech that they invented because they know how dangerous it is for them. That's how bad it is. And I know that in Spain, they have not allowed social media for anyone under 16. At this point, they have banned social media because of this. And I just want to say something. I'm 40, and I was online last night, and I looked up at the clock, and it was like 10 o'clock. And I looked back after scrolling, and it was like 1 a.m. And that's me. I have control over my body and my say, and I was just scrolling for hours and hours. I'm not sure it's illegal to make it addictive. I think for children, there are rules within advertising that you can make claims to. But I think it's in a highly, highly addictive pattern that is taking over our children and leaving them fully digitally occupied without any sort of real world conversation. You and I grew up half in analog, half in digital. So we remember what it's like to go play in the grass and like be in climbing trees. It is so hard to get a kid away from that with this. So, you know, Zuckerberg went over to the Trump side for a reason. I mean, he thinks he wants all of the tech people did. So I think Facebook, I think Meta, I think Instagram, I think the TikTok, they're all highly, highly addictive and brain rotting, like Adam Foster just said, is so true. I could not believe how much time had gone, and I was humiliated. And saying this out loud is like a confession, because that's the only way I'm going to hold myself accountable, is to like just tell you guys that. But you're absolutely right, Julie. The dopamine it craves is so intense that my short answer, sorry, was yes. I do think it's addictive.
And that's why we tune in, Tori. No,
yeah.
Honestly, I think that's a really honest and thorough answer, because it's very easy to be like, these kids or you adults need to get a hold, but then you're like, I did that last night, and I think that's very relatable. I think that especially because no matter what you're into, for better or for worse, it keeps feeding you that. If you want to be a pastry chef and you're 8, imagine if you wanted to do that in 1994. Tori wants to be a pastry chef. Where would you go? The library and maybe like go to a card catalog and be like, I hate my life, I have to go down this aisle? Or do you want to see beautiful confection cakes and it gives you ideas, and you see this woman, she kind of looks like you, and what's her background? Maybe I could do that. All of these things, then that's a potentially good thing, because that could lead you down your path of your true instinct. Mm-hmm. But it can also just be, I just watched 10 minutes of NFL fights, which I did an hour before this show. We're not talking
We're all
about
confessing here.
Unfortunately, Michael Dean, but we all have our little dumb things that we just watch. One of my favorite stories, I don't know if I ever told you, one of my buddies that's a doctor, he was in I think he was doing his residency in Massachusetts, and he was at work, and I woke up, and so I was using his computer, and I went on his Google, and this is before like people knew to like delete what they were looking at.
Oh no!
And this person that is a surgeon, his last search was people falling at graduation.
That's awesome. I love falling down.
We all got our things, and that's what he was looking at. With people that are just like, I did it, Mom, and they just walk right off the stage.
That's hysterical. That is unbelievable. But yeah, I think even when you say it's up to the parents, it's like children will find a way. Like they'll find a phone, or they'll find a way. It's everybody else is on it, I have to be on it, kind of a thing. I do want to let you guys know, I wanted to have 1 minute to talk about Punch the Monkey. I don't know if you know about this, Al. Maybe I know it because I was on Instagram for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let everybody know there was a little monkey at a zoo, and the mother had rejected the monkey, and there were video of the mother pushing the monkey away. Get away from me. She was trying to suckle. He was trying to be friendly with the monkeys.
Was it a runt?
Yeah, and they were very social creatures, and yeah, very small, okay? So they got Punch a monkey stuffy, and he carried the monkey stuffy wherever he went, and he cuddled with the monkey stuffy, and he held the monkey stuffy, and he dragged the little monkey stuffed animal everywhere he went, okay? And just 2 days ago, the monkeys have started to accept Punch, and he doesn't need his stuffy anymore. And I'm just really happy for Punch. That's all.
Did you dream this?
No. Someone said, are you guys going to... Amy Higgins asked if we're going to talk about Punch the Monkey. I had to get that in. Google Punch with his monkey stuffy. It's incredible. But a monkey,
I mean, that's kind of beautiful.
It was beautiful. The monkey came and hugged him, and that's what they crave. But yeah, I just wanted to get that in very quickly. But yeah, sorry, I jumped ship, but
I love it. And I'll tell you this, because Tori, I'm glad you mentioned that, because as somebody that has a degree in biology and loves nature, and I think people that watch the, anything that has to do with nature, they're like, look at the tiger stalk its prey, and nature is so beautiful. The caterpillar turns into the butterfly. Nature is mean as F.
It is rough.
It is rough. And I remember I was watching, this is years ago, I was watching this documentary about I don't know what you it's not a pride of tigers. I don't know what a pack of tigers is called.
Oh, that's a good question.
It's a pride of lions, a murder of crows. Colleagues, can one of y'all figure?
Yeah, someone look it up. With owls, it's called a parliament.
Which is my favorite.
Which is awesome.
Which is my favorite. And also, weirdly, even though I never smoked them, like if I see Parliament cigarettes, it makes me think about the 80s. It just makes me think about my family.
Totally.
So and obviously the group. But yes, there was a group of tigers, and they're a solitary. Oh, they're solitary. Thank you, Broke Henry. Yes, dude, Broke Henry. Thank you for saying that, because I just watched a video. I don't think it was AI, but it was a lion, and there was like a tiger like in the cage, and he was like chilling against the wall, getting some cold cement wall, and the lion came and like flopped on it and was trying to like lick it with his tongue and groom it. And the tiger was like, dude, get the F off me. And they were like, tigers are solitary. That's a great point. Yes. Thank you. That explains it. So this mother tiger had just had a group of tigers, and one was born with like basically a club tail.
Oh no.
And nature is like, there's something wrong with you genetically. And they kept leaving it behind. And Tori, I was like, I don't even know how to end it, but because men have to lie to themselves, like I felt myself definitely about to cry in about 9 seconds. So I'm like, let me see what's on the news. All right, too. Oh, what channel? I forgot what channel that was. Tori, that was probably 15 years ago, and I still remember it. I was like, why? He was so little. It was cute. And it's like they kept shoving it away, and I was like,
the mommy shoved it. I know. And Punch would go back and cuddle on his little monkey stuffy.
Oh man.
And it was just it's amazing. I do want to say something that pulls everything together, because I'm a trained professional host. Let me just say this. Even animals in the animal kingdom, when they have a group, they do not elect a leader that is evil or dumb or horrific. They elect a leader like the leader of the wolf pack or the leader of the lion pride. They pick the strongest and not the dumbest. And it's so fascinating to me that as humans in America, in my opinion, we elected someone so radically uneducated to be the leader. And it's like, even animals would never do that to a herd, but we did that to ourselves. And I just think that's really interesting.
It does show you that, it really does show you that the projection of strength is what Donald Trump did best, no matter how you feel about it. And I hope there's Trump supporters on here. Welcome to the colleagues. We don't discriminate here. We keep it 100.
Yeah.
I will say this, Trump did a fantastic job, which I would have never thought would have, like, he is admittedly bone spurs. Remember that from the first administration. He got out of serving. A lot of wealthy children did, or they pulled a J.D. Vance and were in the PR team in Afghanistan. Literally the PR team. And, he was able to convince his followers to boo John McCain, who is universally recognized as a war hero.
He was.
But remember I respect soldiers that didn't get caught. And I was like, well, that's the end of him. And his followers were like, I know, right? And I was like, whoa. That was really the first indication. I was like, oh, he's got followers.
Totally.
I thought that would have been an extinction level event for his career, because John McCain was seemingly the symbol of what they wanted America to be. A war hero that was like conservative on most issues.
Or moderate.
Yeah, and moderate to leaning conservative, but would work with the other side as a maverick, which I think a lot of people want to consider themselves to be. And when he was like, yeah, no, and remember he covered his name up on that battleship. He like covered the, I think it was the SS, and nope, I was like, yo,
totally.
This dude, he's got him.
That's when you call him Teflon Don. I mean, if you guys didn't know, Ronald Reagan famously let everything slip. All bad press went off of him like Teflon. So they called him Teflon Ron. But no one in the history of American presidential elections has ever been more Teflon than Donald Trump, from all of the things he said, including when he started with Mexicans are rapists. Remember that? I was like, well, this guy's done. And then it wasn't. Adam Foster said,
what do you think allowed him? I think the fork in the road of the Trump timeline that we are on, because we could be on to a totally different president, and like we would be looking at Trump running for president the same way we would look at like when Jenna Jameson ran,
right?
Know?
Yeah,
just like, yeah, somebody just ran some random. I think when he held the line with grab him by the P on the Access Hollywood, because remember everybody's like, oh, like everybody's like, I'm done here.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, yeah, what's up? And they were like, dude, you have to drop. And he was like,
nope.
Why?
And he went even harder. And that is what is so famous for, why I always bring this up. Roy Cohn, the guy who was his mentor, taught him, when you're on the defense, just play more offense. No one has seen anyone do that. I mean, Bill Clinton was, I did not have sex and I did not inhale and all these things. And he was like, yep, I said that. It's locker room talk. What do you want? That is a strategy we had never seen before, which is crazy. I do want to thank Adam Foster. As a veteran, he said that was a big turnoff for him. I could not believe any Republicans stood by him. Thank you for your service, Adam. I wanted to make sure I said that.
Yes, absolutely.
But I just read an article about Obama's speechwriters, and it was the speech he gave at the Correspondents' Dinner, joking about Trump and saying how he has to make real decisions, like, is Little John going to be allowed to stay on The Apprentice? And they said no one in their right mind that night thought Trump would ever be an actual possibility. And many people think that night when a black man made fun of him was the night he decided to run. And they said it all came as a shock, and it's still shocking us now to this day.
Yeah, I will say this about Trump. He went and found a base.
Yeah, he found a lane
where people never thought to look.
That's right.
Republicans were constantly getting their ass handed to them in elections. You know, the Mitt Romney, just, you know, John McCain when he went up against Obama the first time, because they were still stuck in the, I'm a conservative, I'm a fiscal conservative, and we care about small government, and their base was like asleep, you know, like just head back, mouth open, asleep. And a candidate came along, and I think really the first seat of Trump was Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
Because she came and she showed that like not reading wasn't a deal breaker. Totally. She openly called Obama a Muslim and stayed in the race, stayed publicly relevant, was not shunned. Remember that there was that one Republican candidate, he had to like apologize because he kept calling him Barack Hussein Obama. And even though that is his name,
yeah, Trump
there was a period of time where like in the Republican Party, they were like, that's untoward, sir.
Yeah, like McCain, when he's
how
like,
far away that seems now.
Totally. Remember when that woman was like, I think Obama's a Muslim, and he was like, no, ma'am, he's a good man. He is an honest competitor. And that is so far from the Republican Party at this point, that we're talking about murdering and allegedly raping children. I mean, that's how far we've come in one generation.
And will that be a deal breaker?
And will that be the line?
And for 27% of his base, it ain't.
That's right.
It ain't.
It's
so
not.
Yeah, so we shall see. But you guys, I'm gonna jet out, catch a flight shortly. I will send you guys all love from the sunny state of Florida.
Hannibal Buress, he's gonna be with Hannibal, his best friend again.
Yes, way to make you like girled it up. Your two friends hanging.
That was really bad PR. I also get my new foster dog, and we need a name, so I'm gonna be crowdsourcing for this little dog.
Oh, wait, no, we already said it. Mac Foster, right?
Mac Harrison?
Mac Harrison. That is the name. Mac Harrison.
All right.
All right. Yo, colleagues, we love the hell out of y'all, like straight up. I don't think it needs to be said. I hope you feel it coming through the screen. We will be back here on Monday, ready to do the damn thing. But in the meantime, you guys go out, call a friend, touch some grass, as the kids say.
Yeah.
Feel that sunshine on your face, and we'll be back. We'll be back here Monday, and we'll make sure to wipe that all away. All right. On behalf of Tori Shulman, I've been Al Jackson. We love y'all, colleagues. Have some fun. Be